Your heart beats around 100,000 times a day. Your eyes take in more information than the largest telescope known to man. Your lungs inhale over 2 million liters of air every year without you thinking about it. Your hearing is so sensitive, it can distinguish between hundreds of thousands of different sounds. Your skin is constantly regenerating. Your sense of touch is more refined than any device ever created. Your brain is more complex than the most powerful computer. You're amazing.
Hi, welcome to this video today, which is all about developing your trading instincts to become an instinctive trader, an intuitive trader, a more confident trader, and trade for bigger profits. Now, to become an instinctive trader, you need to make the right side of your brain dominate your trading decisions. It's the secret of success of all the world's great traders. George Soros makes the key point how important trading instincts are in his book Soros on Soros, which I was reading at the weekend, which encouraged me to do this video. Now, instincts are not the same as emotion. They'll become clear as I go through the video. Now, in terms of the human brain, I just want to explain how it works and the difference between left and right side of the brain. But before I do that, I did do that short clip on the way in, which is a very famous Ogilvy Matherad, and it makes a key point. Your brain is the most powerful computer ever built. There will never be a computer built by man that can mimic it. I think we take our brains for granted, but they just are an incredibly complex bit of machinery. I mean, if you think about it, we actually have 1 billion neurons in our brain, surrounded by 1 trillion cells. Now, the cabling or the blood vessels that surround them, if you were actually to lay all the blood vessels end to end, they would stretch for 100,000 miles. That is 4 times around the planet. I mean, it's truly amazing. I think, traders, just take, the brain for granted. If you use it correctly, you can achieve Forex trading success. Now, a computer can mimic the left side of your brain. So what does the left side of the brain do? This is the area of the brain where you store facts. So if you're learning for an exam, all those facts will be in the left side of the brain. It's very linear, factual, it's looking for order, and it's very easy for a computer to mimic that. Now, the right side of your brain contains all of your experiences of your life, okay? And it also is capable of real independent thought, and this is the real key advantage of the right side of the brain. It's capable of seeing the big picture, it's capable of thinking, it's capable of spotting patterns, and it can do it very, very quickly, okay? In fact, it will do it so quickly at times, you do not realise why the right side of your brain has actually given you the thought. It's giving you no reasons why, but it's given you the thought. Now, that might sound a little bit confusing at the moment, but as I go through the video, it'll become clear and why that is such an advantage when you're trading Forex. Now, what I want to do is just go on and explain a little bit more about instincts generally and why they're so important in Forex trading, and more importantly, how you develop your trading instincts to become an intuitive trader. Just going to do a quick quote in relation to instincts before we move on, and I'll be back in just a moment. Hi, welcome back after that short quote from Albert Einstein, which I think neatly sums up how you should trade the Forex markets. The intuitive side of your brain, the right side, should dominate. The rational side of your brain, the left side, should be the servant. So what you need in the left side of the brain is logical tools that you understand, or techniques which your right brain then applies to each situation individually. You look at each setup, you think about it, you apply simple, flexible rules, and then you trade. Now, too many traders are left brain dominant when they come to markets. They don't want to trust the right side of their brain. They believe in static setups, okay? But of course, it's a very chaotic market. You have to think, okay? You'll never make big money in today's markets, basically applying a static set of rules. Let's face it, anyone can do that, can't they? If everyone could make money just trading signals without thinking about it, a lot more people would be making money. Of course, they're not. Now, it might seem intimidating to have to think for yourself. You might be thinking you wouldn't have the confidence to do it or whatever. I'm just going to go through how you train your instincts in a moment. But first of all, I want to discuss a couple of books which I'm going to strongly recommend you go and read, which had a massive influence on me. The first book is a book called Markets and Market Logic. It's by Steidlmeier and Coy. Read it back in the 1980s. It really changed my perception of the markets. Why? Because it explains how the Forex markets or any market works, how simple it is, but why you need to trust your instincts and trade, okay? And it really knocked out all the myths about you need a lot of intelligence and so forth. It really is a wonderful book on how markets really work and how to just basically trade them for profit. Now, that theme was carried on recently in another fantastic trading book. It's by Curtis Faith. It's called Trading Instincts. He was a system trader. He was taught by Richard Dennis to follow the turtle rules. So you'd think he would be anti-using instincts in the market. Anything but. He actually is a firm believer that if you actually train your instincts and follow them, you will make a lot of money in the Forex markets. I'd strongly recommend any trader go and read that book. It really is good. Now, before we look about training your instincts, I just need to give you some real life examples. Just to lead us on to the training of instincts in the Forex markets. Now, the first example I want to use is of a race at Monaco in the late 50s, where there was a driver called Juan Fangio. And he was the greatest racing driver of his day. And at Monaco, you come out of a tunnel and you come around a bend. Now, on that bend on the right side, there is a mass of people looking out for the lead driver. Okay? Now, Fangio came out of the tunnel, and in a split second, he put the brakes on in his car, stopped the car dead. He couldn't explain at the time why he did it. Why did he do it? Because normally at Monaco, when you come out of that tunnel, everyone is facing the lead driver. So their faces are looking forward, so you see a white mass, okay? When he came out the tunnel, he didn't see that. He saw a darker mass, which meant that people had turned away to look up the track. Now, they turned away to look up the track because one of the lagging cars had crashed. Now, when Fangio came out the tunnel, he didn't think, oh, I can't see white faces, they're the dark backs of the heads, there must have been an accident. That would take too long. Literally happened in a split second. Now, that is intuition, okay? And the important point to keep in mind there is the speed with which his intuition kicked in, okay? It's within a split second. He didn't even need to think about it. As soon as his intuition kicked in, the right side of the brain senses danger, overrides the left side of the brain, which wants to win the race, brakes the car. Now, intuition itself comes to us as a thought or a feeling, and we don't actually know where it comes from. That's because the right side of the brain is working so quickly. And it can very often come as a physical, how would I put it, a physical impulse. Now, I'll go back to George Soros. George Soros said in his book that basically he knew when his positions were wrong when he started to get backache. Now, that might sound really unusual, but that was his body's way of telling him his positions were wrong. His intuition is giving him a physical impulse. And intuition is a strange thing. I'm sure everyone's felt it. Ever been, let's say, for a job interview, you know something isn't quite right when you're there, but you can't put your finger on it, okay? That is your intuition. Now, your right side of the brain does actually come to the conclusion, which gives you that feeling. However, you don't really know how it's done it because it's acting so quickly. And that causes, traders a lot of problems. A lot of traders put on positions, they know they're wrong. Their intuition is telling them, but they'll still hold them. They should learn to trust their intuition. Intuition, once you learn to trust it, will keep you out of trouble in the Forex markets, and it will help you make profits. Now, in terms of intuition generally, intuition works best when you are under pressure or in danger. You'll see it. Okay, I've given the example of Fagio at the Monaco Grand Prix, but how often do you see on the news someone do something heroic and they get asked, well, what did you think about it? And they said, well, I didn't really think about it. My intuition kicked in. That is the power of intuition. Okay. Now, if you want to make your intuition work in the Forex markets, the key is pressure and speed. Okay. So what you need to do is when you're training your intuition, okay, when you look at charts, the key is to think quickly. Okay, you should really put yourself under time pressure to make a decision. So only allow yourself a few seconds to look at the chart. That will stop you over analysing and letting the left brain get in the way of what you want to do. You'll find that if you look at something quickly, make a decision, you'll be much more confident in it. If you have to think about something, you'll be less inclined to trust that trading signal. You'll have probably overcomplicated your analysis. So the real key to training your intuition is speed. Now, in terms of Fagio at the Monaco Grand Prix, think about a less experienced racing driver may not have been so used to seeing the white mass, then the darker mass, so may have had an accident. Now, there's one thing that you need in Forex trading to really trust your instincts. It's experience. There's no way around it. You must have experience. Now, experience, you can gain it obviously in demo account trading, and then you have to move on to real-time trading. Now, I would say once you come into real-time trading, it will take you a good few months to totally trust your instincts, okay? You'll make mistakes as you go along and so forth, but eventually you'll start learning to trust your instinctive feel of the markets. And in terms of trading instincts, I'm just going to round off with another quote. I just want to summarize what I consider some of the key points to do with instincts. So here's just another quote, and then we'll just sum up. Welcome back up that short quote from Kim Basinger. Now, she may not be a philosopher, but I think that quote will resonate with a lot of people. It certainly resonates with me. Over my life, when I've trusted my instincts, I've tended to be right. When I've ignored them, it's led me into trouble. And I think, intuition in Forex trading is a key skill. It's a skill that anyone can learn. Yes, you are going to have a little period of time when you get used to using your intuition and learning to trust it. But once that trial period is over, and it shouldn't take too long, you'll then find you'll be spending very little time on your trading. You won't be so stressed about your trading signals. You'll be trading with greater confidence and you'll be making more money. And I think traders tend to underestimate intuition in the Forex markets. But in terms of great traders, I've mentioned George Soros, Curtis Faith and many others, they will say that intuition is the key to trading success. It's not emotion. It's basically seeing the reality of the situation, thinking about each chart setup. And remember, each chart setup is unique in its own way. And then giving you what you should do, or if you should pass the setup by. The real key in getting your intuition to work for you is to use speed. As I've said, if you use speed, you will reinforce simplicity, you will not overanalyze, and you're more likely to see the reality of the situation before you. And a lot of people are a little bit nervous about thinking for themselves in the Forex markets, but it really is the only way to make big money from the markets. You have to use your intuition Anyone can learn to do it. Just do a little bit of practice and you'll see how effective it is. So thank you very much for watching this video. Take care and have a good day.